Hello there, welcome back. This is Redjoy, and this is a list of our favorite arcane spells for Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition. Today we're going to be talking about our level 6 spells, which level 6 also has a lot of very, very powerful spells. I'm actually going to start, unlike last time, I'm going to start with the honorable mentions. Two honorable mentions for this spell level. The first is Mislead. Mislead can allow a wizard to summon an illusionary version of themselves to kind of walk around and to do some fun things, while they, of course, are kept safe and invisible, and they can't cast spells. It's not like Project Image, which is a very, very powerful spell. Guess what? Next week, it's all about that. But Mislead will allow a character to be able to keep safe while they have an image out and about. And then the other is True Sight. True Sight will, of course, is the ultimate anti-illusion spell. You can see through all of those nasty things, including things like Project Image and Simulacrum. It is slightly limited by the fact that it has a certain timer that it goes off. It goes off once per round, which if you have an enemy that kind of goes invisible between when it goes off, you could run into problems. But most of the time, it's a very powerful spell that will carry on through most of the game. And of course, before continuing on, I do want to give a bunch of credit to two spell guides that I found very useful. I've been talking throughout the entire series about these spell guides, and they are by one is by West J, and the other is by Devayorn. They both went through every single spell that you could pick up in the game, including the SES Icewind Dale spells, and they nailed it. They nailed down which ones you should pick up, which ones have a lot of power, which ones are kind of okay but are kind of more situational, and which ones are garbage and you shouldn't pick up. So with that said, you should definitely check those out. I put the link in the description below, so please give them the credit they deserve. And with that, now you get to listen to me ramble on about what are my favorite spells for level 6. So the first spell that is my favorite spell at level 6 is Improved Haste. Now, there was a time where I wasn't such a huge fan of Improved Haste, just because I found that for Improved Haste, I always had the perception that Improved Haste was just kind of a lesser version of Haste, because it only impacted one character. But what this does compared to a normal Haste is it will, of course, add to movement speed, just like a normal haste will, and a bonus to initiative and a bonus to defense. But it also allows a fighter to get twice the number of attacks per round. So let's say you have a fighter who has gotten up to 5 attacks per round. You pop this on, they're at 10 attacks per round. That's the same as the high-level ability Whirlwind, right? No penalty to using Improved Haste, and you get this a lot earlier. So ultimately, this is just a fantastic spell to put on any fighter. It's also a great spell to cast on yourself. So we'll go ahead and do that, and then I'll talk about the other good defensive spell before I go on to the offensive Juggernaut, and that is Protection from Magical Weapons. Protection from Magical Weapons does a great job of making sure that any magical weapons, any weapon that has some sort of enchantment, your mage is going to be protected from. There is nothing more annoying than when you're fighting and hearing all of your companions screaming, "My weapon doesn't work! My weapon doesn't work! My weapon doesn't work!" Well, gosh, it's probably because the enemy mage you're trying to swing at has Protection from Magical Weapons up. So all of those fancy weapons, all the way from that level, that longsword +1 to the paladin sword you pick up from Firecrag, to Black Razor, and none of these will actually work if your caster has something like magical Protection from Magical Weapons up. I also want to make a note that it's the same thing. Is much more powerful than Improved Mantle, and Absolute Immunity. Those only protect you up to a certain point. This spell will protect all magical weapons. Protect against all magical weapons, right? And by that point of the game where you're getting this, you're not really facing off opponents that have normal weapons. And if you're really, really, really interested, you can always cast Protection from Normal Weapons if you really want to. You don't need to, though. So I would say that the only downside is that this only goes for 4 rounds, but still, it's such a good spell to toss on and to keep your face pretty when you're facing off against opponents. You also, a good mage is going to have this combined up with Stone Skin, combined with Mirror Image, to make them essentially the tank of the party, right? And that's not hyperbole, right? Clerics, with all of those defensive things up, are going to be immune to damage for a short period of time. That allows your fighter to do their job. That allows your thief to get in a couple of backstabs. That allows your cleric to get so much done. It allows secondary mages to cast huge amounts of magical spells right in the middle of combat where you may or may not be standing. This is absolutely amazing, and I just hold it as a fantastic spell that you could toss on yourself. The third spell, that is the spell that a lot of people turn to when they first get to level 6, and why wouldn't you, is Death Spell. Death Spell is just so much fun. So, looks like we're surrounded. Whatever are we gonna do? I don't know. How about we do this? Yeah, Death Spell. If you don't like trolls, they're gone. If you don't like thugs, they're gone. If you don't like bandits, they're gone. If you don't like summons, they're gone. Death Spell will even take out enemy skeletons that are summoned by Animate Dead. They will take out just about any summons, even like Mordecai and Sword, gone, right? Death Spell is so nice. Yes, it's not going to, it does have a limit to the number of hit dice that are impacted. I think, anyone more than 8 hit points are immune, but the fact that it can take out summons, almost every summon in the game, so good. Death Spell is just the ultimate click on end combat spell you can get in this game. So really just great spell. Great spell. I really enjoy it, and it's a great offensive powerhouse. So that's going to be it for today. These 3 spells plus the honorable mentions make level 6 spells really powerful. As a final warning, there are spells at this level that seem really good, right? And there's 2 in particular that are used in all of the cutscenes, and they are Disintegrate and Stone to Flesh. The problem with those spells is they will get rid of any items, including magical items, that you might want to pick up from opponents. I'm not going to say they're useless, but I will say that you need to be careful when you're casting them. If you want to target a troll or target an Umber Hulk or something that doesn't have magical weapons, go ahead, have fun, blast them to bits. But just be aware that they do have that major side effect with the fact that you are going to lose any magical items that they carry. So just be aware of that. And also stay away from Chain Lightning. Chain Lightning is garbage. With that said, thank you all so much for watching. Again, please check out those complete spell guides in the description below. And with that said, thank you so much for watching. Take care and good luck. We're all counting on you.